Alright, oh, does it work? Hold on. Hey, yeah, I got a new thing for my computer. I got a new capture card for my computer, so it like looks. I hope it looks at least a little better. It might be like a little bright, but I'm hoping at least it looks a little better. But welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We're gonna be breaking down guessing games today. We're gonna be breaking down guessing games. I'm gonna play the song one more time. Wait for more people to come through. Now that I have like a stream on, I swear to God, next time I do this, I will have a camera and it won't just be my face in the top right. I promise. I promise. Although I kind of just look the same, so just imagine that moving again. I'm sorry. The stream gets a little less scuffed every every attempt. Anyway, I'm gonna play this all real quick, and then one more time, and then we will properly get into it. So this is guessing games. Alright, so that's guessing games. So start off. Before we get into the song, we'll go a little bit out of order. Upon request, this is the original vocal sample. Again, if you ask me where I get it from, the answer is 99% of the time Splice. I don't know if this pack is still up, but
I don't wanna keep on second guessing, 'cause guessing is useless. Keep on second guessing, 'cause guessing is useless. Useless, useless. Come on and choose this, choose this.
you know what she's saying? Kind of. Enough. One day I'll do lyrics, I swear. Oh, I didn't mean to delete it. Okay. So that's the original vocal sample, and then I just put it in the key. I think I literally didn't do anything to it. I think it's the same key. Uh, mm, 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 so it's a fourth up. It's like five half steps up, something like that. So from D flat to G flat, and then I wrote the song. Um, I wanted to have, so I guess let's start with like some lore. Like let's kind of go in order a little bit. So this song was never supposed to exist, and I kind of made it because I was bored one day, and I was bored, and I kind of made it. And the way I kind of make my songs is, um, I kind of like I'm taking like a hybrid approach of kind of what I learned in school and just kind of what works for me. So basically, I kind of just make the overarching element. So like I'll have like all of my MIDI in, but it's like all of the big parts. So it's like my drop will just be like my lead. It'd be like this track, this track, this track, this track, this track, this track, and then my drums usually just kick, snare, hi hat, for example. So let's say I'm starting with the drop, it would literally just be. And that's it. And I just like map out where the fills are going and whatever. So I kind of made the whole song kind of overarching, and I added some details. Like I had the fills, I think I'm pretty sure, and I think I had everything except my build stuff. Um, I think I had everything but my build stuff. And is the diva synth from Lightspeed in this song? Man, gotta if we could be more specific, because I don't know, I don't actually remember where I used diva in Lightspeed, and I make too many of these. And my backup drive isn't working today. Which is great and fun and really cool. And I found that out this morning, so I'm having a great day. Um, so the diva is like, did I, if I used it for a lead? I don't think I used diva in this one, like at all. It's not really an instrument I go to a lot. Like I thought I would because of snails. Oh, okay, well. That's an instance of diva. That's just a preset. Am I using diva anywhere else? I don't think so. It's not a synth I go to a lot just because it is genuinely kind of annoying to use. I forgot what it emulates. It's supposed to emulate like a certain, I think it emulates a Juno synth. I'm genuinely not really sure. Um, but the Juno in Analog Lab feels better. It could just be its own original synth. I'm not sure. I used to know, but I'm pretty sure it emulates a Juno, and there's just an easier Juno you can get. It wouldn't be in the fills, and then it wouldn't be in, yeah. So I don't think I'm using that Diva sample, or the Diva patch. But essentially, kind of wrote the whole song, did some details and stuff, and then um basically I said, yeah, I'm not really feeling this one, and then I kind of shelled it. I didn't really want to post it. I'm gonna be real. I forgot when I finished it, but I definitely finished it like way before. And I put it, and I used to do a series on my other channel called like untitled or unfinished ideas, and I would upload those just to kind of make something of it. And someone commented, "Hey, you should upload guessing games." And a lot of my friends were like, "Hey, you finished it and it's really good. You should upload guessing games." And I'm like, "I'm not really feeling it, and I don't think anyone else is gonna like it." So lo and behold, this made it into Funhouse, and is now my second most popular song. I've warmed up to it a little bit, but like in the vein of like how your teacher doesn't have a favorite student, I totally don't have a favorite song. Which means I totally have a least favorite song. Um, so not that this is my least favorite. Sorry, that's like a weird analogy. Anyway, let me get into it. So the song basically kind of started out. I kind of went left to right. This It's a really rare instance where I wrote basically from the start to the end in order. So let's do that in order. So we start with this little piano thing. Um, I had this first, and it's kind of my favorite way to do a super compressed like slammed piano. Because without it, like it's it's punchy, but this is hitting you, and then you add some saturation for some beef, and then I added some ambience because I really wanted the piano to be exposed. I don't know why I added. I think I just added like arcade games. Like I just googled arcade games because guessing games. Um, and then we pair the sample with it. But that gets a little boring. So at some point you need a response because there's breaks in between. Oh, sorry. And then it just kind of echoes, and then you kind of fill everything else out at some point, which is build stuff. So we got a little riser here. We got a downer. End up putting another like a more busier ambience in, and then we got like a little bass thing going on. I can show that off real quick. And you put in the pad, put in your art, and that kind of makes your build. So we do kind of like a fake out here, where it's our build and we're building basically into another build. Because originally this was supposed to be kind of the drop area of my. This is supposed to be the drop of my song. It's just kind of how I plan it, and I was like, "There's nothing I can really do to make this feel like a drop, so let's just do it into another build." So you build all the way up, and then you drop into nothing, and then I have like this little like this little tri instrument thing. So I just have a sub. I'm pretty sure it's just like it's just the sine wave, and then one is just an octave down. Then I have this, which is like a fake Brahms from Vital. Like if you just, I might have killed the attack on it actually, on the other one. No, okay. Well, it fades in. So it fades in behind that. So this is kind of like the first hit, and this is kind of the body of it. And like you kind of get like a fake Brahms because I didn't really want a real Brahms. It didn't really sound right. Keep saying Brahms. My bad. The brass stabs. Because I don't want a real one. It sounded weird, so I made a fake one. And then you got like this little guitar thing going that I found on Splice. Oh my god, we're doing a lot to this kind of. Oh my god. Okay, I know it looks okay. I think we just got experimental. And then some sirens. I don't know why, but it just kind of it just kind of worked, you know? Like it just kind of like worked. And then you loop the last part of the vocal sample. and then you add some drums. You add another riser, and then your downers are still going. You gotta take the energy down a little bit so you can build it all the way back up for this drop. Because I knew I wanted my drop to be really, really short. So at this point I was kind of feeling the song like a lot, but I was kind of bummed that I couldn't really use this as like a cool like minimalistic drop. Because I don't know how to write those, I think, you know, I think I gotta cram everything I know into a song. Anyway, then we move on to our drop. As always, let's go through how I made the sounds, and then we'll go through why I made the sounds. So this is just a regular supersaw, supersaw stack here. You have our main layer, an octave down. We have like just another. I think this is a mono layer. Yeah, this is my mono layer. It's just like kind of an emulation of old video game sounds. Oh, it's literally just one note. That's crazy. I feel like it's supposed to not be one note. I feel like it's supposed to be that. But it wasn't that before, so that's kind of an accident. Alright, not bad. And then we have, I don't know what this is. Oh, super wide layer. Am I panning? Yeah, I'm panning. Super wide layer, and then super wide layer. Super wide layer, right under it. And then you put that through. It's the same processing as Lightspeed because I kind of just use a preset that I made with these plugins. So if you want the specifics, like I can show the settings, but if you wanted to go in detail, check out last stream. But I kind of just landed this. I think I went into detail last stream. If not, call me out on it. And then after EQing it away, you get that. Got a little ARP thing going on. Oh, I froze it, so I don't even know how I made it. Oh, because at some point, I made this, I think I made this on my old laptop, and this got so busy with all the fills. Because this got crazy. I think it got busy with all the fills. That my computer, like, couldn't run it, and it was really slow and really bad. But then we got a pad. So same deal, I kind of just froze it at some point. This is my bass, which is really high up for some reason. Main layer. Layer 2. This is just the main layer, knocked it down. Mono layer. I'm using squares this time. Usually I use saws, but I wanted something a little harsher. And then you get combine it with your sub. And that's your drop, dude. That's your drop. Put it with the drums. Sorry. We'll mute the fills for a second. Ugh. Oh, we also have these chops going. Which is just like... It's the vocal chops just in a pattern. I just, you know... Because you need another layer under it. Because without it, it's a little... Like, it's a little boring. Like, between the fills, like, there's no... Like, even with the fills in... Like, just having that kind of in, like, kind of fill out in between is just really cool. It's just kind of another layer on top of the chords. And then you got your fills, and then you got all your fills. And there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them. I genuinely was kind of grasping at straws with this drop. Like, guessing games was kind of hard for me to get through, because at some point, like, I had, and we're going to see in a sec, I had the B section fine, and I had the intro fine, and I had, like, the build fine. And I had the last drop fine, but I never landed on a version of drop 1 that I felt really good about, and I still haven't. Like, I'm glad, like, everyone enjoys it, obviously. But I still haven't really landed on a I still haven't landed on a like what am I calling it? What am my words? I still haven't landed on a version that I'm like, oh my god, this is it. I think I just found the best possible one, and I like it. There's a lot of cool fills here. There's a lot of cool fills. You got. I'm just gonna kind of rapid fire go through them. This is just a serum preset that I think I made. No, it's a preset. Most of these are probably gonna be presets. That's just from Splice. Yeah, there's a vital preset, and then I just put a lot of like processing on it. This is actually kind of what I use for growls for the most part. And I just wanted to try it here. And it does a different syllable each time, which is really cool. Or it's at the format's a little different each time. This is just a stab. I don't. This is just a drum, I think. No, it's a block. Haha. Yeah, it's a block, and then you just automate the pitch bend going up. Okay. Basically, just yeah, it basically just sounds like. And I put a format filter on it because without it, in this process, it's that. Not really that too much of a difference. Also, not really too much of a difference. I don't really know what I did. It's crazy. Sometimes you just throw things at the problem until the problem is solved and just don't think about it anymore. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway. This is just another growly stab thing. I made this one off of a cowbell. I made a short about it on my old YouTube channel. If I can find it, I'll re-upload it. It's kind of cool. It was actually kind of cool. I got like a rusty old cowbell from this antique shop. And I was like, yeah, let's make a new example. This is just a serum preset. Yep. But I wanted to have a fill that kind of carried over because I thought like a lot of my fills up to this point just kind of like start stop. It's like kind of carries through some of the other fills and then echoes a little after. That's just a chant. That's just a stab. This is actually multi. Sample and then sample up an octave. My throat is crying today. Jesus Christ. This is just a chant. Sorry. That's just the main vocal. So it's another kind of like 4D fourth wall fill, almost. 4D fourth wall. So like the background vocal is now jumping out at you for a fill. That's just a pew pew.
Tell me what you want.
That's just a that's a record scratch, and then yeah. So and then that's just it's literally just a glitch that I found. And those are kind of just all my fills. I kind of just like did a lot of them. I just really wanted to do a lot of them. And then we have this laser coming in halfway through because I wanted to add interest because we were gonna do the thing again. So I wanted to add interest, especially since this is a short drop. I want to like cram as many elements in here as I can, I guess. I actually got this from I think Ruby from Syntheon. She does this a lot. I genuinely can't remember what song I found this from, but she does this a lot. It's not this exact patch, but you know, it's the same kind of thing. Anyway, you got through all that, and then you sweep into. So this B section is awesome. This is like genuinely one of my favorite B sections because there's a song called Overtime. Oh my god, and I lost it. Jesus. Oh, okay, there it is. So, the song called Overtime. It's a banger. Drop sounds like this. Yeah, it's lit. But the B section, I guess whatever C section. I don't really know what section this is at this point. So like in that oh, the song isn't playing. Oh my god. Hold on. Hold on. Hello, hello. Welcome to stream. Welcome to stream. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm smart. I'm smart. I just so happened to use this as a ref track for a song. For this song actually. Let me see if I can. Let me not blow eardrums. Oops. Cool. So right here. So right there. There's like two things kind of acting as a kick. There's like your main kick, like there's like your main kick, and then like there's like I called it like the counter kick, which is like a less sub-intensive percussive hit, but it like sonically functions as a kick. So like what I mean is like so if I take this out, sorry, I'm just trying to find a track. Oh. So let me also, I make music really loud. So if I go here and I take out the counter kick, like it still works. It still 100% works, but you put the counter kick in. Then you get that like interplay between the kick, or between the kick and the counter kick. Sorry, I'll start it from beat 1. And then if you put the snare in, you fit the snare and all of that. And then with drums, usually you want to have something be like a timekeeper almost. Because that's what drums do. Like they keep time. And I kind of don't have that. Like I kind of have like my art be my timekeeper, which is fine. But but even without like a timekeeper here, like a ride just doing like a ride doing just like you still get the whole beat, like you still feel it. Like you don't need that timekeeper to keep you in line because like the snare kind of glues everything together. And you add some hats. Oh, there's my timekeeper. Okay, never mind. So you still don't need it, obviously, but like here, I say obviously, my bad. And then that interplay between the kick and the counter kick is just like tasty, dude. That's like crazy tasty, and that's literally what made the entire section. Because like I heard it in that, and I was like, I want to try that in the song, and I was like, ooh, this whole drum beat. It's like the rare instance where I made the drum beat first, and then I kind of like made everything around it. I don't know how I got like beach vibes or like relaxed chill vibes. Well, I guess because like I'm using this as a ref track, and it's like the B section for overtime, C section, D section, whatever is like also really chill. So. So as for the other instruments, it's just the main synth, the main vocal line again. This is that Diva synth from earlier. It's basically just 3 Junos and a Mellotron. And then saturated chorus twice. I think this is just for vibrato. Never mind. I'm doing. No, this is just for vibrato. Because like if you don't have that, it's subtle, but it loses just like a little bit of movement, and that sucks, dude. Also, you have to sidechain to both the kick and the counter kick, but not to the same degree. Because the counter kick doesn't have as much sub in it, so you don't really have to sidechain as much. So you get this really dreamy ARP. This is just more Analog Lab. God, I love Analog Lab. And then nice little bass. That's also just a Juno. So this whole section is just 4 Junos, a Mellotron, and a Dream. And then it's the same ambiences from earlier. And it's just like a nice little chill, vibey section before we get into the last bit of it. This is just... So it's 5 Junos. And it's 5 Junos, a Mellotron, and a Dream. And some Zero. And then you build, or there's no real build. It's just kind of like you kind of just end the section. It's like one of the rare times I think I just end the section actually, and then I do like a short, like a really small build into. I don't know. I have the memory of a goldfish. And then we have the we have the lead. Sorry, I can't speak today. I like came home from work. I just got home from work and I didn't like sleep. So we're getting tired thoughts, man. But essentially it's just the chords all stretched out because I really genuinely like I kind of got here and I was like I don't really know what to do. I don't really know how to end the song. So here we are, trying our best. And it's just basically the same stuff as before, except now we have this lead. And if you'll notice, it's the same ARPy thing from it's the same ARPy thing from Lightspeed. This song came after Lightspeed, I'm pretty sure, but not a year after Lightspeed. I'm pretty sure I released Guessing Games a year after Lightspeed. But Lightspeed and Guessing Games are actually made like months apart. Because like I'll write a song, it'll take me 2 days, and then it'll take like a week to like finalize details and kind of be okay with it. Or I'll like hold it for like a couple months and just see if like I still love the idea later on. It's not just honeymoon. And then I'll mix it. I'll take like a week to mix it, and then really like a couple days, but like I'll take a week to like really sit on it, mix it, and then I'll master it, and then there it is. Which is crazy that all of my releases are so scuffed. But yeah, it's basically the same thing, but we add a lead. But then once we get here, we're still free running, and still like that, like 4 on the floor. Kind of just driving that beat, driving the song forward. But this time, this is the piano from the first section. But I put it on the synth. I put on a DX7-5, I guess, or DX7. It's probably 5. Yeah, it's probably 5 because this is Analog Lab 5. Ooh. I basically just put on the synth. I think I tried the piano first, but yeah, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. So basically, I just kind of took the melody. And whenever it was a chord, like a chord hit, I basically just did like a shell voicing. So I think I either did root and seventh, or third and seventh, and I did my guide tones. Um, I'm not sure. I'd have to do a whole analysis, and I'm kind of too tired for that. I guess that's what I'm here for. Hold on, let me figure this out. Because now I feel guilty. Now I feel like I have to do my job. Yeah, it's root and seventh. Whenever there's a chord, and then I'll keep with the melody. I lost my place. There it is. There it is. So basically, that's happening in the background, and then we add one more element because I think this was just a really cool idea I kind of had in the middle of the night, which is basically just I'm like stitching parts of the sample together and making this little line that kind of travels from left to right. I learned my lesson from last time. I will not be showing Nani on stream anymore, because even Save for Work does not save me. But if you take off all the processing, basically I just made a whole phrase out of this, and I think I froze it. Yeah, I froze it at this point, but I basically manually transposed each note so that it would give me that, like, so it would give me all those notes with those words. Because I just thought that was a really cool, like, through line. I don't know. I just thought that was a really cool thing in the song. But you add a little bit of room, which just basically widens it up a little bit if I make it, like, super wet. That's basically all it is. Who even is Nani? It is a really good saturator, but it definitely is a plugin that you should be 18 and older in order to look at and buy. Because, my god, do they go all out. But my lord, is it a really good saturator. Am I advertising it? Absolutely not. But it is an incredible saturator, and I will die on that hill. You add a little bit of saturation, you OTT it. You add more saturation, which sounds really harsh, and then you EQ it. But without that second distortion, like, it doesn't cut through the mix. This, like, cuts through the mix. Like, this with the second saturator cuts through the mix so that you can actually hear it with the everything else going on. Because even though it's traveling, it's still, like, relatively soft. Like, a lot of the transients are a little tame. Just because I'm stitching together vocals, so I'm losing a lot of, like, the actual dynamics of the vocals. And then you get to the end. And it's just the beginning. Like, it really just is the beginning again, and then you just... in the song, I do that. So I moved it in Pro Tools. This one decision took me a solid, like, 48 hours to, like, figure out. Because I didn't know if I wanted this or... What did I do? I did this, okay. So I ended up kind of settling on this. And genuinely, I'm not going to think about it again. But that's, like, all the writing. This is a really simple song. I also have this little response thing in the intro. And it's just the DX7. I think I got Analog Lab, like, pretty close to this, because I'm using it a lot. But this is a really simple song. Like, genuinely, there is not a lot to take away, because I kind of did this song more so as a warm-up and kind of as just, like a practice thing. Like, just to, like, okay, let's make a song. I think I took a break or something. Or, like, I was working on a big project, and I was trying to, like, you know... Or... trying to remember what happened. I think I had writer's block, and I think my brain was all like, just write something, and this was the something, and then I moved on to I think write free falling right after. Um, so it's funny how this came out, how free falling came out first. Um, so guessing games kind of was just like I did it to do it, and there's not really a lot that goes into it. Again, it was a song that was never really supposed to be released, and the only reason I did is because one, I got a comment, two, my friends were like, "Hey, you really should," and every time they've done that to me, they were right. Um, I thought "Worry About Me" was not gonna be very good. Here we are. Thought "Lied to Me" wasn't gonna be very good. Here we are. I thought "Lightspeed" wasn't gonna be very good. Here we are. So on and so forth. I thought "Hysteria" wasn't gonna be really good. That's a lot of people's favorite song for me, which is crazy. Um, so yeah, that's the writing section. Any questions, leave them in chat, obviously, and I will try and answer them. I say obviously. That sounds so condescending. My bad. Um, but leave your questions in chat. I will answer them as I get this mix ready. Now, bear with me on the mix. I'm gonna be so honest with all of us. Sure. I'm gonna be. What if you replace the lead at the end with the diva synth from Lightspeed? I don't. Well, I would try, but no backup drive, and Lightspeed is off my computer. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Um, but it's a thought experiment. It is a thought experiment. Let me see if I can get this mix going. Yeah, and I have the mix, but that's not going to give us the actual synth preset. Okay, now will it actually work? I don't know. Probably not. Pro Tools is a fickle mistress being thing. Any other questions in chat? I can try and answer it. I can I can try and answer it. I think the hardest part about doing like these breakdowns is that I legitimately don't remember making the song at the time because it's just old. Like Castles, I could basically the last like 7 or 8. Said that on purpose. The last like 7 or 8 songs I could like break down and like have a like I could put myself back in it a little bit. Past that, it's all like I don't know. I'm like guessing. I'm guessing based off the clues that I left myself. Um, and I am not very good at leaving clues. So that's where we sit with that. I'm hoping in the future I can do like more like regular streams. It's just life's kind of busy right now. Like that is my goal. My goal is to work to doing like more varied streams a little more often. It's probably not my main thing still. Like I still want to just be an artist, a composer, producer, and an employee somewhere. I do like working for an entity. I'm not gonna lie. Might be a hot take, but I do want to fit in streaming more. Um. Anyway, this is the mix. As always, it's just EQ compression. Wow. Whoa. What happened? Wait, that's crazy. Oh wow. Wait, no, this is not the mix. This can't be the mix. Wow. Yeah, wait, what happened? I'm so confused. Yeah, like none of my Whoa. So this is why I said Pro Tools hates me. This is why I said Pro Tools. Oh my god. Wow, it just didn't get any of my mix. Wow. That sucks. Well, it wouldn't be a candle stream if there wasn't scuff in it. So, alright. Yeah, wow. My bad. Huh, I checked the mix earlier today too, which is like the crazy part. Is like I actually and I saw like my plugins, like it was a little jank, but it was fine. Wow. That is disheartening. Anyway, um there's not super much there's not a lot to talk about with the mix. Essentially, it's kind of the same as always. You do your basic leveling, get everything to where you want it. You do a little EQ, do a little compression. Just looking for problem areas to fix. Yeah, Pro Tools be acting up today, and I'm kind of tilted, like to see just it's blank because that means it's blank on my backup drive, which means I don't actually have a backup of this mix, which means like, wow, that sucks. Like if I ever had needed to just go in and tweak it, man, that kind of like put like a little sour note in my day. But hey, whatever. Um, wow, on the day my backup drive doesn't work with my computer, that's crazy. I'm cursed today. It was a sign. I knew it was a sign. Yeah, my backup drive just isn't being recognized by my computer. Hmm. No worries, no worries. Because I still want to get something, even if you can't see my mix. I still want to give it at least like a few tidbits. So maybe a couple of like mixing things is just like, at least for me when I'm starting a mix, this is actually really good because I can kind of just like go through it like how I would start it. So if I was starting this mix, right? Basically I would go to the busiest section, not the loudest, but the busiest. So the part with the most like important shit. Am I 18 plus? I hope I'm in 18 plus stream. So it would be like right here. It's usually your last drop. My bad. Oh, let me make sure. Yep. Okay, so I should be getting sound. Maybe we're getting too much sound, so let me lower it a little bit. Did it lose the piano? Did it lose the piano too? No, it didn't. Okay. Let me check my levels real quick. Okay, I thought my music, like the MacBook volume, was off the whole time, and then I was about to be like, guys, I'm just gonna go to bed and just I'll redo the stream like sometime this week. I'll find time or the week after. But we're okay. We're okay. The mental's still alright. So if I was mixing this, um, I'd go to my busiest section. So like probably here. And the first thing you want to do always is so for me, you can either start top down or bottom up. There's two ways. That's two ways to do it. I like to do bottom up mixing. It just helps me. Like so, I'll start with my lowest kind of frequency sort of instrument, and that's usually your drums. Like your drums is like a lot of that sub energy comes from your kick. Um, in EDM, it comes from your sub bass too, of course, but your kick is the thing that kind of drives your song forward. So you really want to get that level right. And I always shoot for about -10. So once you get that leveled, you bring in your snare. Snare, I like to start at 15. You bring in your hats. Hats, I like to do it like around 25. So we're good. I'll do my ear candies. We're going to pretend these are all mono. Okay, there's no ear candies here. Great. Cool. Then I don't care. Then I'll bring in the next important thing, my sub. So my sub, I want to hit at -10. And then drop bass. Want to hit at -15. Drop pad, usually -20 to -25. Drop chords, -15. And then if I have a vocal, which I do in this case, I'll do this for leads and vocals, but for vocals, usually I'll skip. I usually just don't even worry about vocals until I am like EQing and compressing because vocals are so hard to mix in before you treat them. It's the only instrument where it is the hardest thing in the world to fit vocals into a mix before making them clean and making them like easier to mix, right? Which with compression, with even if it's a sample, I find it's just a little bit too cumbersome to just like try and fit it in with initial leveling. If it's just chops, if it's just vocal chops, right? So let's say it was just these, then I don't care because usually I'm like compressing the hell out of them anyway. But for an actual sample, even if I know I'm compressing them a lot, I'll still just skip over them and then I'll go back after I've done like processing, so EQ, compression, saturation, chorus, whatever I want to do to these vocals. Then I'll try and fit them in with the other instruments that I have. Once I'm either up to re-leveling or I'll bring everything back in just to level those vocals and then I'll keep going. So usually we skip them, but for argument's sake, or not argument's sake, for demonstration purposes, usually you want to keep your vocals at around in between -15 and -10. You want the kick in EDM, I find, to be the loudest thing with your sub bass right next to it, but then vocals have to be your next loudest thing, right? Because you really want that sub energy, and vocals and your sub and your kick don't interact enough that it matters. So level that in, and then if you're bringing in a lead, you kind of just want to start from the bottom until it pokes out enough, and you like what you're hearing, you like where it's at, and then you do the same for every other section. And then after you're done, you go back and be like, okay, I didn't fit this track in yet, I didn't fit this track in yet, I didn't fit this track in yet, and you just slowly bring them up from muted until they just fit. So like if I was doing like this track. Okay, because I know I want this to be a background thing, I still want you to be able to hear it, but I don't want it to grab your attention. I want it to be a thing that like subtly gets added, so you're like, oh wow, that's a new thing, or like it at least feels new, right? So, you start from muted and you bring it up until you get that feeling, and if like you do the same for like a lead, if you're not getting the feeling of like, oh okay, this fits in fine, just drag your fader all the way down, drag your fader all the way down, and then raise it all the way back up. The other thing that I think most people should do, especially when they're first starting out, once you're experienced, you don't have to do this as much, but always when you're mixing, you should have a reference track. So I'm a little bit like obsessive with this, and I like numbers a lot. So this is just a loudness meter. This is kind of just for mastering, and I just kind of put it on for reference. I don't even check this until mastering. It's like useless to me until mastering, more or less. There's some good info on there, but it's it's not super relevant. This just tells you where the song is and problem areas. So I have so much high end and not enough low end, so we gotta fix that. So like you have a lot of high end, not a lot of low end, so we need to bring the high end down. You always want to lower instead of raise, because raising is how you get weird shapes. If you just lower, usually you tend to be a little less heavy-handed when you're lowering rather than when you're boosting, I find, just from experience, but that's anecdotal. Reference is a cool plugin because you can put in a song. So let's say Overtime. And you can compare how that song's section compares to yours on an EQ. So right now, let's actually do maybe. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, so there's like basically no high end to it, and then my low end is so like everything. Like comparatively, my curve is just bad. Or not bad, sorry. It's good points. But it's basically telling me I don't have nearly enough low end. Which makes sense. I don't have nearly enough low end, but and I have too much of this, and this is like more or less fine. Yeah, like there's a 1 dB difference between this area in my song and in Volta's song. So we don't have to care. But the big thing is tonal balance control. Kind of just gives you zones. Sorry. That you can aim for. So right now with this candle tribe, like this is severely underrepresented, and this is too much. We're getting to too much here. This is more or less fine, but we can bring this area up, and this is more or less okay, right? So it gets like a little bit more specific. And then after you like do your levels, you check what your problems are, you check where your problems are. That's when you start touching your EQ and your compression. And then you go all the way down, add your reverbs, and then you're done. And then you go master, and yeah. So anyway, questions, comments, concerns. Sorry that the mix didn't get loaded. I think I did some cool things in here. I genuinely can't remember. So if I get some free time this month, I'm gonna see if I can like maybe I'm gonna see if I can maybe like just stream like super like just like on a random day maybe, and just like stream my mix, or like maybe I'll take a picture of it and post it and be like, here's my mix and here's everything that I did and here's cool moments. So maybe I'll do that. But anyway, no comments, questions, comments, concerns. Thank you all for stopping by. Appreciate y'all for coming through on the stream. I hope you learned something. I hope you found this interesting. I'm gonna keep doing this, and hopefully I can do it more often when life kind of settles down a little bit. But next month we'll do a different song, so I'll make a post about that, and then let me know what song you want. My fault again about the mix. Next time it'll probably have my face moving, so that's exciting. And yeah, I think that's it. That is Guessing Games. That is the entirety of Guessing Games. So thank you all for stopping by. There you go, my energy levels, music's not as great, but some of them are fire in my opinion. Yeah, honestly, good to be hyped on your own work, because genuinely I'm not like hyped on my own work. Like I'm not. Like I think for a while, I think until last year I didn't like recreationally listen to anything that I made. Like I would just put it out and just be like, I can't listen to it because I would feel so weird about it. Like it genuinely wasn't until like last year, and then I was like, oh, hold on, maybe I need to start like actually like liking my shit. But that's probably like a hidden self-deprecating self-hatred thing. I don't know. Figure it out in therapy. But if that's all, thank you all for stopping by. I'll see you all for the next one. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything coming up. I don't have anything planned. I don't really have any projects that I'm working on right now. So unfortunately, if I post again, it is what it is. But if you do see a song from me, it'll be a surprise. I'm totally not working on anything right now, so don't expect anything from me this year. Haha. And I will catch you guys on the next one.